G'day viewers, I'm back. Well, what a week. As you all probably know, I was spirited off in the Tarago with the Movementarians last week. Spent 4 hours blindfolded in the back of the Tarago, listening to nothing but Anthony Robbins torture. Anyway, we arrived at the compound and it wasn't what I was told it was going to be. Not a news power in sight, couldn't get a scratchy. All these pregnant young women walking around, men with beards, no masks, no social distancing. Let me make that perfectly clear. And the food, well, I'll just say I've had enough cows to last me a lifetime. It wasn't too long, all hell broke loose. We had a COVID outbreak. The feds were called in. And Damon and Raoul must have got wind of this early, in the know. They bundled the leader into the Tarago. They were heading off out the back. I'm banging on the side of the Tarago, let me in, let me in. Off they went. So I headed off after them in my mobility scooter. Spent one very uncomfortable night in the bush and just had enough power in the battery to get me to a railway line, which I followed. I was catching the train back to Melbourne. Got picked up by the transit police for not having a ticket. They called in the regular Vic coppers and I was slapped with a $1,000 fine for being more than 5 kilometres from my home. Anyway, the coppers recognised me from the telly, dropped me back, and the flat was just as I left it. Young Denise, next door, had kindly dropped over a new bundle of tea towels. She said the other one looked a little bit manky on the telly. Very kind, Denise, thank you. Now, when I arrived back, my little mailbox was overflowing. Mail everywhere, but the snails, they must have been having a party in there. They'd eaten half me mail. Couldn't even read me Chemmart voucher. Unbelievable. But in that mail, there was a letter from a Mr. Paul Hollywood Hogan. Now, Hollywood and I go way back. I did a stint painting the Harbour Bridge in the early 70s. And I used to go into the lunchroom, drop my paint cans out the front. I used to open the door and say, "G'day viewers." Now in the lunchroom there was Paul in the corner with his little notebook, writing things down. Couldn't believe it. Anyway, it wasn't too long before Hollywood had his comedy show. I didn't really see the humour in it. Thought it was more of a documentary. But anyway, Paul amassed quite a fortune over the years. He owns half of Byron Bay, as we all well know. Stroff owns the other half. Turf war right down the middle of High Street, with young Delvine Delaney firmly and squarely in the middle. Now, the letter from Paul Hollywood Hogan's lawyers, in capital letters it says, Glen Everyman. Now, as we all know, when you receive some mail with your name in capital letters, you know there's trouble afoot. It seems I'm being sued for appropriation for the term good evening viewers and good night viewers. Now, unbelievable. I look forward to seeing Paul Hollywood Hogan in court, and Darren Hinch has finally passed on the number of a lawyer, an Italian family lawyer, shall we say. And I look forward to the stoush in court, the battle of the blue-collar workers done well. We'll just have to see how that pans out. Anyway, I'm off to clean my letterbox out, and good evening.